Yo, Isco's Eminem version is back with the UCL quarterfinals. Yes, I got the beanie and everything, and we have the 4 quarterfinals left before we get into the semifinals. Of course, we have Atletico Madrid against Barcelona, Liverpool against PSG, Arsenal versus Sporting, and the big game Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. We are gonna start with Atletico Madrid and Barcelona, but before we do, please guys, go down there right now, comment your prediction for all these games. Please like the video. Of course, if you enjoy, you don't have to do that right now, but please subscribe. If you're gonna do one thing, do that, because I am so close to 2k subscribers, and then we are aiming for that 3k new goal once again. Let's get into the predictions. Atletico and Barcelona, the only competition Real Madrid fans can be laughing at Barcelona once again if we do make it past Bayern. So, you know, we're gonna probably all be knocked out this round. Probably, you know me, I am deluded, yes. But Barcelona against Atletico, I think they would have had a pretty good chance if this was at their home ground. Of course, the first game being at their home ground, and that brother Kubarsi being a bum and getting a red card, and them conceding 2, scoring 0 at home is just crazy. Kubarsi absolutely killed Barcelona. If anybody still is telling me right now that Simeone didn't have the ball, it's never a red card. Okay, bro. Okay, let's just predict the second leg. Yeah, you're just coping, genuinely. Now, these are the predicted lineups for the second leg. I think Barcelona is gonna struggle big time. Big time. Simeone is not a bad manager in the UCL La Liga. We can talk about it differently, but when he faces Barcelona, so far they have faced them 2 times. If you just look at the head-to-head of those 2 teams in this tournament, it's 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 win for Barcelona. And look at this, 1-1, 1-0. 2-1, they even won, and they still lost in 2016, and now they lost the first game. They lost the first game. They have never gotten through Atletico, even when they drew and won the first game. And now they lost the first game. I genuinely think Barcelona will have to do a 200% game. I think Lamine Yamal, of course, can do something. Still, Rafinha is not going to be back. This is the biggest difference in Barcelona and UCL from last season and this season. Rafinha is not there. And even with Lamine Yamal, of course, he did everything he could. 0 GA last game against Atletico. It was just too much. Atletico is too good defensively against 10 men. Away from home and at home. I think this game will be even. I think Barcelona will surely go for it. I think Barcelona will score 2 goals, but I have Atletico scoring at least once. Okay? I think Atletico, if they line up like this, they have enough quality to defend Barcelona, even though they lost Marc Pubil and Henko in the first game, which I think Pubil actually got a yellow and Henko got injured. I think Langley and Lenormand are still a good pairing. And even though they are not the best center backs, of course, you know what Simeone is going to do. It's going to be haram ball to the extreme. It's going to be haram ball 2,000,000%, brother. It's going to be Arteta haram ball with Simeone something, bro. It's going to be sprinkled up with some set piece goal as well. I think genuinely Atletico scrape through this Barcelona team, even though they won't have Kubarsi and Rafinha. And they are, of course, going to be like crazy behind with 2 goals. I think Atletico just about to make it 2-1 Barcelona this game. Now, who's going to be scoring? Who's going to be the man of the match? I think Lamine Yamal will get 1. Lewandowski will get 1. And I think Sorloth or a center back will get something from a set piece. Because Barcelona, when it comes to crosses and set pieces in the biggest of games, it just, I don't know, man. When a tall brother is playing against Barcelona in the UCL, like Marcus Thuram, fucking, I don't know, center backs, Dumfries, these physical people that can do something on the wings, or they can do something in the box, aerial, or, you know, physically, because they are just stronger than Gerard Martin and Ronald Araujo, brother, which these 2 guys are just not that good defensively, honestly. And they just don't defend well, especially that second goal. By the way, Barcelona still could have gotten at least a draw. At least a draw. I think they could have. But they just conceded that second goal to Sorloth, and that was when the game ended. I think genuinely Sorloth will be scoring that goal, and it's going to be 2-1 Atletico Madrid. Barcelona, genuinely, you still have a chance, but it's a very, very slim one. If this game was at your stadium, completely different. But I'm going to say Barcelona wins 2-1, Atletico Madrid go through. Let's move on to the second game. That is going to be Liverpool at home hosting PSG, which they have already lost 2-0 as well. And I think everybody expected Paris Saint-Germain to do the job in Paris in the first leg, and they did just that. And they could have scored around 3 to 4 goals, in my opinion, which even Luis Enrique came off after the game in an interview and said that, yeah, he's a bit disappointed, but of course, still a good result against Liverpool. 2-0 cover, going away from home to Anfield. And Liverpool, guys, even though they are starting to look a bit better now, I think just Slot has got it all wrong this season. They have had, some weird injuries. Their players have had weird seasons. Like, so much inconsistencies in all of their games. For example, Szoboszlai looks so great, but then he drops a stinker. The defense, especially Van Dijk, Konate, even Joe Gomez when he comes on, they just don't look great. I think PSG will actually destroy Liverpool once again. I think it's going to be a crazy scoreline. People think, PSG is going to Anfield. For sure, this has to be different. But when I look at these lineups, especially this predicted lineup, I don't think they will be playing 3 center-backs. That's just crazy to me. But even if we look at it from this point of view, this midfield has nothing on these 3. Zaire Emery, Vitinha, Neves. That's just energy, constant pressure, constant reliability on the ball from their players. It's Hakimi, Mendes abusing these players with their pace and physical prowess. But this team is genuinely on the road to do back-to-back. First time since Real Madrid. I genuinely think they have a big chance. Safonov even looking like a crazy keeper now. They got rid of Donnarumma. It was looking a bit spooky with Chevalier and this brother as well. But he has found his footing in the UCL. Pacho, Marquinhos, and the attack. We don't even have to talk about Doué, Dembele, and Kvaratskhelia in the UCL. Doué, once again, even though there is a deflection in that first leg, what a finish. He finds his space. Virgil van Dijk, I don't know what he's doing, brother. He's putting up cheeks with Gravenberch. And 1-0. And that second goal just speaks volumes of how bad defensively, and even Mamardashvili, I think, could have done better. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia is in the penalty box. And he does this around 5 players and that scores. I mean, Liverpool defensively just looks crazy bad. And they, as you can see here, Liverpool's 0.7 XG in the first leg was the lowest in any match under Arne Slot. And it's not a coincidence that match was up against Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, Liverpool might be a little bit more on the ball in the first 15-30 minutes because, of course, it's at Anfield. The crowd is going to be up for it. And I'm not saying there's zero chance they do anything. But I just think Paris Saint-Germain are going to have too much firepower. And they have a big advantage. They have went there already last season. They beat them on penalties after, being pressured a lot in that second leg. Because if you remember that first leg, PSG was actually pushing. But Liverpool won that like 1-0 because Alisson had a masterclass. But they still went there and won. So I think this advantage and their quality will just put them through against Liverpool. I think this game will end, I'm going to say, crazy scoreline 4-2 PSG. All out, every team will be attacking, but PSG have more quality. Now, let's move on to the game that genuinely no one cares about because Arsenal play one of the worst footballs right now. They genuinely eye an eyesore, and Sporting, let's be honest, guys, even though they do great at home, they still lost to Arsenal. So I think this game is just going to be a bracket for Arsenal. Let's move on. Now, many people, if you have watched the first leg, Sporting actually looked crazy good against Arsenal. Especially in those first 35, 40 minutes. They had some chances like that, Diomande was playing here. That pass Trivela from a center-back to, I think it was Araujo, which he hit the bar from a crazy save by Raya. Raya had a really good game. I think he was even man of the match. And, it was just underwhelming from Arsenal. And Sporting just couldn't finish their chances. And you don't expect Sporting to be beating Arsenal, and they actually showed that they still have a chance. Because only in the 91st minute, I think, a really good pass to Havertz, really good touch, and a good finish, I would say. And yeah, Arsenal made it 1-0. But Arsenal, if we just look at their form, honestly, they just look like a shadow of themselves. They won against Bayern Leverkusen, of course, everybody predicted that. They lost the Carabao Cup final, to Manchester City 2-0. They lost in the FA Cup 2-1 to Southampton. They only beat Sporting 1-0 in the 90th minute, which everybody still projected them, even if it is in Portugal, away from home. They still were projected to win that game, and they lost 2-1 to Bournemouth. If you look at the table right now, Arsenal, if any Arsenal fans watching this, I know Favzi watches me, big up to you. I have some Arsenal fans as well. They are only 9 points ahead now, with City having 2 games. So genuinely, if City win their 2 games right now, the tie will be Arsenal versus Manchester City, 3 points ahead. The game will only be at 3 points ahead if Arsenal, of course, don't bottle it again, because who does City even have? If we look at City's fixtures, City has Chelsea, which is, of course, a crazy game, and then they have Arsenal. So this can genuinely be, for Arsenal, a one-off game for the Premier League title. And now, if they don't get a result and somehow lose to Sporting, which I don't think will happen, but this is going to be one of the biggest bottle jobs of all time. And who else to do it than the mighty Gunners, brother, Arsenal? Do I think that's going to happen in the UCL? No. Premier League, fully understandable. If you think that, it might just happen in the Premier League once again. But in the Champions League, I'm not going to lie, if this game was away from home, once again, I'm giving a bit of chance to Sporting. But Arsenal, they just have too much quality, okay? I think they will bank on being at home, score a really quick goal, and Sporting is gonna be defeated. Yeah, when you concede early in these type of matches, when you're the underdog and you are away from home, you need that first goal. So I am predicting Arsenal to score first. I think Sporting can maybe get one back, but Arsenal finish it 2-1 at the Emirates, and they are gonna go through 3-1 on aggregate. Now, this was the 3 games that, of course, I don't care about too much apart from the Barcelona game. But this game, Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich, second leg at the Allianz, is the last chance for these brothers to prove everybody wrong. And this is genuinely the last chance they have in any competition this season, because La Liga is done, Copa del Rey eliminated, and we have lost the final in the Supercopa de España to Barcelona. So Real Madrid, last chance, match preview. This is going to be the last thing I do in this video. Let's do the prediction. Okay, I'm going to preface this with, my name is Disco, yeah? If you don't know me, if you're watching this for the first time, I am deluded. Yeah? Everybody calls me deluded. Other content creators, fans, haters, they call me deluded. Everything is deluded. I was the only one that predicted us to go through against Manchester City, from at least the people I know from the content creator scene. Now, I was the one that predicted in my prediction video, the first prediction video for my quarterfinals, that, for example, Atletico Madrid will beat them in the first leg. And everybody said I was deluded. I said that Arsenal is going to win 3-1, which I didn't change my prediction. I said that PSG, I think genuinely, we're going to win 2-0 in the first leg as well. So I was almost 100% correct, but I did flip the scoreline from Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. I said Real Madrid was going to win the first game 2-1, and then Bayern Munich was going to win the second leg 2-1. But I am going to change it. Okay, I am going to change my prediction, which is on me, of course. I did get the legs wrong, but I still think that for my prediction to go right, almost, the same outcome will come from these results, even though if they are flipped. Bayern Munich, better team than Real Madrid. Yes. I am going to bank on that these players are not finished. They are probably going to absolutely disappoint me. Yeah, there is a 99% chance I will get disappointed and I will hate these players for the rest of the season, and we might as well skip to fucking September, because this season is done for Real Madrid, because we are winning nothing if we don't beat Bayern. But I'm going to say my prediction is actually going to be flipped. 2-1 Bayern Munich, 2-1 Real Madrid, as I predicted, just flipped. And we are going to go into extra time. But I am going to tell you what is going to happen next, okay? What is going to happen in the game? Who has to start this game in order for Real Madrid to beat Bayern Munich? And what has to happen in order for Real Madrid to lose as well? Because I'm going to be fair. I want to go through, you know, I'm going to be Doctor Strange, but give me the time stone and everything. I'm going to see every universe. I'm going to see every outcome. But there is one, yeah? As he said, there is one outcome that Real Madrid wins this game. Look at the predicted lineups, okay? Nicholas Jackson, put yourself in the bag, okay? Lunin, Fran Garcia. We are already starting to be angry right now, but we're gonna go through it all. stay with me now. Please like the video if you are enjoying so far. Let's start. Okay, let's start with Bayern Munich, actually. Neuer, 100% starting. Bischoff, I don't know. Ito, Kim. I still don't know, like, why are these people, like, projected to start when... genuinely, FootMob is the worst site of all time. This is probably going to be Alphonso Davies for the second leg, because they need speed, and they are going to be looking to counter that Mbappe, and, you know, which it cost them. We scored the first goal because Alphonso Davies, I think, wasn't at on the pitch, and with Alphonso Davies there, I don't think Trent is getting that much space, because I think it's going to be Alphonso Davies. I think it's going to be Upamecano, Kim Min-jae or Ta, and then it's going to be Leimer, which Leimer worked completely fine there. It's going to be Kimmich. I don't think it's going to be Goretzka. I don't think they are going to change up their lineup too much, but I do think that Musiala will start as a 10. I think Luis Diaz will be starting as a left winger. Olise here, of course, and then Harry Kane. I think Musiala will have a better game than Gnabry did at the Bernabeu, which he missed a huge chance after that Thiago Pittar mistake. And Luis Diaz wasn't having a great game as well. But in Germany, he's usually pretty good. Away from home, he was always a bit spooky, I'm not gonna lie. And even though he scored that goal at the Bernabeu, once again, he had some crazy bad chances. Crazy, like, misplaced passes. I even remember they were 2-on-1 here in this situation against Madrid at the Bernabeu, and he completely missed Olise here. I just think Luis Diaz will be there to have a better game, and I think Company will bank on that he will try to perform better. For us, though, for Real Madrid, the complete, I think, turnaround in this game is gonna be one man and one man only, and that is Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham was the best player against Bayern Munich throughout the whole 90 minutes, even though he played 30 minutes. He literally played 28 minutes. Sorry, even less. He made that chance happen. He passed it to Trent. Trent passes it to Kylian Mbappe, which we almost didn't score because of this brother who is 40 years old and catching the ball like some crazy-ass cat on drugs. But Jude Bellingham changed the game. Hold up the ball. Progressive carries, progressive balls through the lines, line-breaking passes, physical prowess. I need you there, Jude. I need everybody there. Jude Bellingham is my one key player in this game. But also, one guy who didn't start as well against Bayern Munich in that first leg is Eder Militao. I need him to start alongside Antonio Rudiger, which, of course, he's not projected to start in this lineup, but who the fuck cares about football, genuinely? Militao is going to be starting with Rudiger because Huijsen and Asensio not ready. Too young, too rash, too scared. No, I just don't want to see them play. Lunin has to play, even though he didn't have the greatest game against Bayern. I still believe in him. I still think he's a great keeper. Put Carvajal in the bag. Dinosaur, get the fuck out, okay? The defense, I hope it's going to be Mendy or Fran Garcia. Carreras is absolutely not... He's not able to start this game. After that performance against Michael Olise at the Santiago Bernabeu, away from home, starting Carreras is a mistake. That's just my opinion. Ferland Mendy got like 15 minutes against Girona. We have to play him in the Allianz. And Arbeloa knows that too. Mendy knows that too. He finally came back from injury after playing a really good game, although 45 minutes against Manchester City. He was great. So defensive monster Mendy has to start. Rudiger, Militao, Trent. That is my defense. Okay? Now, this midfield, I don't fully agree with. I agree with 3 of the players, but I think Brahim Diaz would be much better off the bench because Brahim Diaz against tired legs, that is a bad decision from the Bayern defense if they don't rotate the defense when Brahim Diaz comes on. Because Brahim Diaz, I don't know why, but Brahim Diaz usually plays better when he's away from home, and it's the biggest of games. When Brahim Diaz plays against Mallorca, Girona, and these brothers, he just doesn't do anything. He can't keep the ball. He usually gets out-muscled. He can't score. But Atletico Madrid scores. Manchester City cooks Ruben Diaz. Few seasons back, Leipzig saved us. Atletico Madrid last season saves us. Brahim Diaz is a big game player, okay? He's a shit player in normal games, big game player. So I think if we start Arda Güler and if it doesn't go right, I think he's gonna be better off the bench, because Arda Güler off the bench, I don't know. I trust Arda Güler more when he starts. So my lineup is gonna be Fede Valverde, snatch that fucking captain's armband off Carvajal, which is gonna be on the bench. Jude Bellingham, Camavinga, which Camavinga has to start, in my opinion, in order to even have any defensive cover, because Tchouaméni, of course, is suspended after getting a yellow card in the first leg, which was the most fugazi yellow card of all time. And then it's going to be Arda Güler, and this midfield will be rotating throughout the whole game. Vinny and Mbappe will have to start, even though I don't think this balance is working. I think they can just do something in the biggest of games, okay? Last season, we gave you the remontada gimmick against Arsenal. You completely fucked up, okay? You completely embarrassed every Real Madrid fan and yourselves. Remontada is this and that. I'm not gonna say remontada, okay? There's not gonna be a fucking remontada or anything. This is genuinely last chance Real Madrid, okay? If you have seen Last Chance You on Netflix basketball show, make sure to check it out. Big up to them. But Real Madrid, this is last chance, yeah? This is your last fucking chance in this season, and maybe for some of these players, last chance ever for Real Madrid, because some of these players are maybe looking around to be sold by Florentino Perez and the Real Madrid board. So this game is 2-1 already. Okay, you fucked up in that first half. I am banking on Jude Bellingham, Eder Militao, Camavinga to have the greatest games of their fucking life. Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius to do at least better than that first leg. Real Madrid is going to score first. We are going to score the second goal. Somebody from Bayern Munich. I think it's going to be Michael Olise, because he deserved that goal in the first leg. And ball don't lie. So it's going to be 2-1 in normal time. And then in extra time, as I already said a week ago in my first prediction for this game, it's going to be Kylian Mbappe proving everybody wrong in the extra time, winning it for Real Madrid. And they are going to be moving on to the semi-final, which I predicted it's going to be against PSG. Is this deluded? Absolutely. Might Bayern cook us 5-0, 3-0? It might happen. But you know what? I am a Real Madrid fan, through and through. I have been watching this team for 16 years of my life. That is genuinely like 80% of my life, 70% of my life, okay? I am 21 currently. Why would I not believe in this fuck-ass team that is genuinely getting cooked by Girona, Mallorca, and you're asking yourself, yeah, why would you believe? Because I'm deluded. I love this team. Hala Madrid in Adamas. If we don't win, this team is fucking finished, and I am done with this season fully. Because genuinely, La Liga done, every single other cup in Spain is done. And if we lose this game, some of these players are going to be sold. Some of these players are going to be having the biggest stinker of all time, and we are going to have to be moving to 2026, 2027. Good luck, Real Madrid. Bayern Munich, I know some of your fans are still scared. You are still little bros to us. Let's see who is going to be the better team on Wednesday. I have predicted every single quarterfinal in this UCL season. Thank you so much for watching, and let's see if I cook or I am going to be cooked. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.